I'm Dave Greenwood, and this is Overcoming Distractions. If you are an adult with ADHD, a busy professional, an entrepreneur, a high achiever, or just need some strategies to navigate your adult ADHD, you're in the right place. Who am I? I'm an entrepreneur with ADHD and the author of 2 books, Overcoming Distractions and Overcoming Burnout. I coach and mentor people just like you, and together we navigate the ups and downs of adult ADHD. From getting out of our own way to helping people just like you thrive in the workplace. That's what I do. Want more info on working with me? Hit overcomingdistractions.com. Ready? Let's get to today's podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Overcoming Distractions, Thriving with Adult ADHD. And once again, I thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes. If you are a busy professional, you're an adult with ADHD, you are being pulled in any number of directions, career, family, etc., you are in the right place. This is the ADHD podcast to get street smart advice. And today, that is exactly what we're talking about. We are going street smart in our discussion about managing and thriving with adult ADHD. And I am a firm believer that when we focus on the basics of managing our ADHD, we can lay the groundwork for that solid foundation. I just don't feel that for most of us that we have to overcomplicate managing ADHD. Everyone's different, as is obviously an obvious statement, but working with many people one-on-one for a period of time now who are in professional settings, the discussions almost come back to the basics almost every time. How we do that obviously is different for everybody. So as we enter a new year and maybe self-improvement maybe on your mind, I thought I would just take a few minutes to bullet point what I feel are the basics for thriving with adult ADHD as a busy professional, in my personal opinion. Now, remember, these are areas which I feel you need to focus on. How you focus on these areas may take some work on your part. Actually, it's not may take, it will take some work on your part. And even having somebody like a coach or mentor by your side can make that process even smoother and give you a little bit of self-awareness. So, for example, of course you need a to-do list and make sure you don't lose track of what you're doing, right? But you may need a little bit of trial and error before you find the one that works for you and your environment. So that's one example of many. But my goal for today is just to give you a list of areas that I believe make up a solid foundation for thriving as an adult with ADHD. So let's kind of dig right into it. Number one, maybe not number one, but it's the first on my list today, okay, is some type of structured routines. And I think it's really important that we take some time to establish some type of consistent daily schedule to provide some sense of order and a little bit of predictability in our lives. And I think it is really important for us to build routines where we feel necessary. So, for example, if mornings seem to be chaos, maybe getting to work, getting the kids on the bus, getting the lunches done, that type of stuff, that seems to me to be the perfect place to build some type of routine because it's an area that is challenging, right? And for that matter, something like that routine can actually start the night before. We've talked about that. So getting ready the night before makes your morning that much easier. So, but it's all about routines. Another area I see many people having challenges with is when they have regular or recurring tasks at work. This is another great area to build some type of routine. One way is to build a duplicatable system that make things easier that you may have to do over and over again. So maybe you're a sales professional and you have to write proposals. Is there a way to make that process simpler for yourself? Some type of template, some type of duplicatable system, some type of I will do X number of proposals at this, part during the week, that type of thing. So, but again, one of the foundations I believe in thriving with adult ADHD is having some type of structured routine to kind of lower the stress. So next, a lot of things that that we work with talk about getting things done. And another foundation I believe is important is prioritizing those tasks or things you have to do. It's a common challenge for those of us with ADHD, looking at a to-do list and feeling like we have to do everything right now. Does that sound like you? I know I've gone through that many times over the years. Now, we may feel this, but we know deep down inside that's not really true. So unless you goofed off on everything, then yes, everything needs to be done now. So, but one great tip that I got from a very well-known founder of a large business years ago was what he called the top 3. And the night before, he creates 3 things that are a top priority for him the next day. It could be something as simple as a phone call, or maybe it's a more substantial task. Now, he can certainly do more than 3 items in a day, but those are his top priorities. And my advice, like he said, is the night before, write down what absolutely needs to get done the following day. That's going to help you prioritize what you need to do on a daily basis. And to a greater extent, find a system to plan out other things that aren't due immediately and get them into some type of to-do list or project management software you may use, like an Asana or whatever you do. Put it in your schedule or wherever you're not going to lose that task. But one of the ways that you can reduce your overwhelm by looking at everything is to prioritize, and you can trim it down to whatever the number you want, your top 3, your top 5, whatever it is. So a foundation of ADHD is prioritizing so you're not overwhelmed with everything and thus getting nothing done. Next, we talk about this relentlessly, but you're going to need to double down on managing your time and energy this year. Utilize your timers, live in your calendar, set reminders to stay on track, and manage your time effectively. If you have a hard time doing this and need some help, then you need to work with somebody such as a mentor or a coach. Block out time so you have time in your week to get things done. If you have an open door policy, it is time to revisit that. Find the days and the day parts where you work best and try to conduct that deeper work during those time frames. That is just grazing the surface. But time management, as you know, is a massive topic, but understand that it needs to be a foundation and something that you need to continually work on. I continually work on it to this day. Nobody's perfect. Weeks change, commitments change, life changes, and to the best of your ability, you always need to be working towards bettering how you manage your time and commitments. So, again, these are the foundations of thriving with adult ADHD. All right, next, mindfulness. We really should discuss incorporating some type of mindfulness or meditation because it's going to improve your focus. It will reduce your stress and anxiety and can actually enhance your self-awareness. If you're new to this, I have suggested numerous times, hop on Spotify or another streaming service you use and just grab like a quick 5-minute guided meditation. There are dozens and dozens of them. Or if you're not ready for that, just take some time during the day to find a quiet room and chill out for a few minutes with no phone. Don't put the TV on. If the phone rings in the other room, try and ignore it or put it on vibrate or what have you. You do you when it comes to mindfulness. Everybody's going to attack this differently. And I will say, sometimes we hear this word mindfulness or meditation and we get kind of scared. But you don't have to sit on top of a mountain and meditate for 5 hours. All right? It just doesn't have to be that way. Just find a way to chill your brain out for a few minutes every single day. Go sit out on your deck, what have you. If you're in an office, maybe just go sit in a conference room or go have lunch in your car or what have you. Find somewhere that's quiet. All right, another foundation is creating a healthy lifestyle. And I'm just going to say, pleading guilty on this one because I know I need to do better. Part of healthy lifestyle when it comes to ADHD is prioritizing that regular exercise or moving, that balanced nutrition, eating properly, sufficient sleep that's going to support your overall well-being and cognitive function. Because I know sleep is huge when it comes to having our executive functions work in our favor the next day. I'm pretty good with the exercise and the walking, and I really try hard to get enough sleep. But the nutrition is one area I know I can do better, and I'm going to do that. I know occasionally I'm going to hop out and hit a fast food joint with my son, and he enjoys that, and we don't do it every day. Sometimes and we try to plan our meals for a few days on Sunday, and sometimes that can backfire because life happens and I end up throwing crap in the oven or on the stove. It happens. But I think having these three elements in your ADHD world will continue to build that solid foundation. So exercise, eating properly, and sleep. Next, organizational strategies are another foundation that you should really consider. I know when my office is a mess, I get nothing done. For some reason, not only maybe you can't find anything, but just looking at it is driving you nuts. And I know that does describe me. But work with somebody if you have to develop and maintain some type of, organized systems, such as your maybe it's containers in your house or your office. Maybe it's a better folder system on your computer, for your client work or other related items. Also reduce that clutter, and hopefully you'll be able to increase that efficiency. Take some time to throw some crap out and get it out of your way. And if you have a pile of shit that you don't know what to do with, grab an hour or so and make some decisions. Grab a trash barrel, grab a shredder, do whatever. But every now and then we've got to kind of just clean the slate. Go back a few episodes and listen to my discussion with Star Hansen. She gets real when it comes to organizing an adult ADHD. So, great episode. You're going to have more open communication and clarity. That is a absolute must. That actually should have been at the top of my list. But clarity has to be a way of life for those of us with ADHD. And I'll go as far as to say that we won't survive without it. We won't thrive, and we will live in constant chaos and stress. For example, don't leave a meeting without knowing what you're going to do. Don't go to the store without a grocery list. Don't be in such a rush that clarity suffers. Every point of your day needs to have some type of clarity, especially in the workplace, whether it's with your boss, your coworkers, your clients. Nothing is worse than going back to your office and not knowing what you need to do and then feeling ashamed of having to go ask questions. So to the extent you can adopt a clarity mindset, all the better. It will make a massive difference in your life. Speaking of mindset, let's talk about our little bit of self-compassion as adults with ADHD. And I think you need to cultivate that mindset of self-compassion and acceptance. You got to acknowledge your strengths, embrace your challenges, and that's just part of how we grow as adults with ADHD and understand ourselves a little better. I work with people all the time who maybe they had a bad day, maybe they had a bad week. Guess what? It happens. If you're a busy adult with ADHD and you have other responsibilities such as children, maybe aging parents, other commitments, what have you, you're going to have weeks that just might not go according to plan. And having a solid foundation means cutting yourself some slack and giving yourself a break every now and then. If you're looking for the perfect week, you may want to reevaluate your expectations. So, all right, that was a short little blast just to say, hey, the new year's coming. If you want stuff to work on, let's focus on the basics. All right. That is a quick, street smart, overcoming distractions episode. Hope it helps. If you want to reach out to me, if you need somebody to work with to sort out the ups and downs and the challenges and frustrations, put together a little bit of a plan for the coming year, figure out how to make your job work a little better, please get a hold of me. Just go to overcomingdistractions.com. Click that button that says book a 15-minute Zoom chat with me. And I am excited about meeting you. All right, gang. See you next time.